Hello guys, it's Emmanuel here again, and welcome to another one of my projects. So basically what I'll be doing for this one is to create a dashboard using Excel that will show us the wind energy data for the US. And the reason why I really did this project was because lately I've been thinking about AI and how much power consumption it needs. So I know a lot of organizations and a lot of governments are usually shouting about the whole net zero thing. And I just wanted to see how well, the wind, how well the wind industry, also I call it. I just wanted to see how much, the wind industry was faring. And I wanted to see if it was efficient as compared to other renewable sources like solar and the other ones. So, basically what I did was basically what I did was I was looking for different data on you know, renewable energy sources, and I stumbled upon this one. So this one was about wind, and I was like, okay, we can analyze this, or we can just do a dashboard on it. So we can see here that this is done by the U.S. Energy Information Administration, and they're the ones that have info on different. No, not even different. They have info on almost everything about generating and consuming electricity in the US, which is quite nice. This is their homepage right here. You can see a lot. They have data sets on different things. I will include a link, and you can just explore it yourself if you feel like. So I didn't want to use this data set, this one right here, because this one was from 2001 to 2023, and I wanted something more recent. So I just opened a link. Oh, sorry, that's code. And this was where the link brought me to. You can see the chart right here. And we can see that this was to October 2012, and this can change that. So, and that's the latest one that we have. So, what I'll just do is to download this, and we'll see. Okay, no need for me to download this, but if you want to download, please use the table and do not use this. This gave me a bit of trouble, so I didn't figure out I was meant to do this. I don't know why I made that mistake, to be honest, but let's move on. Okay, so what we have now is we have a data set that looks like, let me see if I can open it for you. I think it should be in a CSV format. So this is what it looks like without doing anything. But I'm going to convert it and just do some cleansing. So just gonna do from txt. Let's import that. So it should give us something like this. Uh, this shouldn't scare you. I know you should be expecting more rows than this, but it's fine. When I was doing it earlier, it's made me a bit worried, but I can't remember the reason why. If you know the reason why, you can always put that in the comments, and you know, we'll see what the real reason is. But this is only like 10 rows, and this is saying based on the first 200 rows. Well, let's move on. So we'll just load this. I prefer to do the cleaning here and not on Power Query for now. Okay, so these ones are just headers, generate for all sectors. Not sure what this link is. Okay, but we have this, and this was going to be our header. So remember that for later. Okay, so let's delete this. Okay, first of all, let's make sure there's nothing important in there that we need to know about. Okay, that looks good. Okay, and I think this one too, we don't need this. We don't need this one too. All right. So this one's just other renewables. I think this one's just to separate the data. The prefixes of these ones are quite self-explanatory, so I don't think we're going to need this one. So these ones are for the other renewable sources, and this one is for wind. So let's just delete that. I'm going to use that one. And the way this data is structured, what's happening is the total, what would you call it now? The total generation for the United States is right here on this row. So we won't really need to do some calculations, which is good. Can live with that. And this is one of the regions, as many of you may know. So we have New England, we have East North Central, we have West North Central, and I think there are about 7 regions or 6. I can't remember. Well, I think there should be like 7. And then you have a few states under each region. So in New England, we have Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and the rest. And under Middle Atlantic, you have New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. You have Pennsylvania there, yeah. So I'm not going to really change that. Just going to leave it like that. Then we'll be using pivot tables, so I'll be able to select some of the data anyways. All right. So the units of the data, or for all of the data, is going to be in 1,000 megawatt hours, which is basically 1 gigawatt hour. So just remember that for later purposes. Okay, so I'm just going to delete these guys. I don't think we need them. So this just shows us the units. I'm not sure what these ones are. Source key. I'm not sure what those are. But let's just delete these guys. Okay, so we have our description and then we have our dates right here. So I think this one should be to October 2025. Let's make sure. Yeah, October 2025 right here. Okay, let's go back. All right, so I do not want my dates to be here. I want them to be here, and I want these guys to be here. So what I'm going to do is to transpose this. So let me just click on that. So we do data and different table range. So I'm going to go back to Power Query. So running away from it. So transform, get it. Transform, transpose, and that should do it. Okay, then there should be a place for me to use first rows as headers, and there we go. Voila, there we go. So I think it looks okay this way. So let's see if it does the change, and yes, very good. Description, nope, that's wrong. This should be date. Okay, let's see if this is in the correct format. Let's go to dates. Let's hit long date. Okay, so technically it's correct. Technically it is correct, so I won't dwell too much on that. So this is January 2001, February 2001, and basically these are, like it said on the data portal of the agency that does it. It's basically a monthly data, so I think technically this is correct. I'm just going to change the format just so it's more nicer. Let's put it that way. Let's go to customs. So I'm just going to, I don't know why it's not working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do MMM and Y. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's see if it's gonna work with RAS. Nope. Not recommended. Let's change that again. Custom. Okay. Y. Okay, let's see if this works this time. Yeah, looks better now. Looks far better. Okay, so you can see we have the monthly data for each of them, and we can move on. Okay, so for the next thing, we're going to be looking at a few KPIs and a few charts, and we'll create a dashboard for this. And basically we'll just be able to see the data as a whole, which should give us some insights. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is, okay, what's this one for? Oh, I see. Well, we can do without this guy. I'll just delete this. The sheets, yeah. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to see if I can create a separate table for the wind. For the wind table right here. Okay. So we can just copy it. I'll copy and paste for this one. Okay, that's good. And I'm just going to delete all the data for the other renewables. Okay, that's got a long list. Okay, so we're left with our wind data. I'm just going to change this as changes to wind data. Okay, we have an empty sheet here. That's good. All right, and I'm going to. Okay, that didn't work. So copy, just paste the table right here. Okay, so for this, I'm just going to delete all of the wind data for this guy. Let's see where that stops. Oh, so many states in the US, so many states. All right, so we'll just do that and just do Shift Control and the right arrow key. Then let's delete this guy. So we should be left with, okay, is that the right one? Yeah. All right, we'll be left with that. All right, so the next thing we need to do is to start creating the dashboard from here. Well, before we do that, I'm just going to rename this. To, let's see, what can we put? Other renewables. I think that should be a good name. Renewables. There we go. Okay, so our wind, and then we have other renewables. All right. So next thing I need to do is this empty data. I don't want to leave this like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replace all of this with zeros. I think on the data set it says something about NR or something like that. I think it's is it NR? It's NM, okay, and it means not meaningful due to large relative standard error. Okay, but what I'm going to do for this one is I'm just going to set it to 0 so that we just get rid of that once and for all. Let's see, find what's and replace. So I'm just going to do that for that. Replace with 0. Okay, so just going to do that right there. Let's see, do we have any NR? Let's see, find out if there's anything. Okay, well, it looks like everything's complete now. Yeah, I think so. And M, I don't know why I keep on saying NR. Okay, let's change that to NM. So change NM for 0. Okay, just 12 of them. Okay. I think we can survive with that. Okay, so everything looks good for the wind. Let's see if we can change this one here. I'm gonna replace with NM, replace all. Just 2 of them. That's good. And the one that has 2 dashes. 244. All right, so we can close, and that's that. Okay, so the things that we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to double down on the wind energy stats or the wind energy data. So for the first KPI, okay, for our dashboard, let me rename this to dashboard so that we know that we're on a dashboard here. we're doing the dashboard there. All right, let's see the view. Let's see grid lines. We take away grid lines. I think that's better. Yeah, let's take away the grid lines. So we know that this looks like an empty canvas for us. So the first thing that we need to do is for our wind data, we will, okay, let's not start with the wind data. Let's start with the total renewable energy for the whole of the United States. And what we can do for that one is, let's see. Okay, so this is for all sectors. You know what, let's do that. Let's do it for this again. Almost forgot. 5,000 replacements. So this is our. I really need to stop saying and typing NR. Okay, so NM replace all 14. Right, so we're good. I'm just going to set all of this to. Let's see if I can change the. Okay, I think I'll just leave it like this for now. Let's see. Point of high. So change that to number, and I'm just going to do this so that looks nicer. Yeah, I think that should do the trick. All right, so everything looks good. So we'll just calculate the whole. We're going to calculate the total renewable energy that the US is able to generate or has been able to generate from 2001, and let's see what it gives us. So what we're going to do first, expect a lot of pivot tables. Expect a lot of pivot tables on this project. All right, that's it. Where are we? Okay, queries and connections. Okay, pivot table. And data. Oh, sorry. Oh, for you. Sorry, that's not here. Okay. Okay, new worksheets. That looks good. All right. 300. Don't know, something feels wrong here. Just give me 1 second. Let's see if we're doing this right. Okay, that's better. That looks better. So we're just going to use a new worksheet for this, and just consider. Let's see active field. So I'm not sure what happened, but I basically had to restart the whole thing, and it worked. So this is the field list. I don't know why it was not showing earlier. I don't know. It was a bit confusing. Because if I do like this, if I click on this, it's meant to disappear and come back. Well, anyways, let's move on. So the next thing we need to do is get the total. Let's get the total energy production by the wind turbines for the US. So what we're going to do is for this one, Let's see if we put it in rows. Okay. So about that. So I've done new rows. And this should go here. Okay, I think I'm doing it wrong. There we go. Yeah, that looks better now. Right, so this is the total sum of both of them. And let's see if we can use a calculated field for this. Could just easily do a sum for this, but let's go a different route. Okay, add the calculated field button. Where is it again? Okay, shape it there. Okay, right here. Analyze calculated field. Okay, so we have field 1. So we have this plus, let's say, was the other one, wind energy in the United States. Okay. Wind energy GSA generated. Okay, let's see if this works. And voila, yeah, that works. So there's our total right there. Okay, so what we just need to do is for our dashboard. Okay, before we go further, I'm just going to quickly do some things. Okay, where's insert? Let's create a basic dashboard format that will just be, putting things inside. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so let's use a rounded rectangle. Okay, then what is this? I'll just insert something in here. Oh, it's not me going that way. Let's see if this works. Let's see something. Okay, shapes. Let's use a text box instead. We'll fill that. So let's just say Ingenuity dashboard US, and just say from 2001 to 2025. Okay, let me just specify because it's not the whole of 2025. October 2005. Okay, let's make that center. Right, let's make this one white. That looks better. Bold. So increase this to let's say, oh, this looks good. That looks good enough. Wind and a cheetah. Then let's make this rounded edges. Can we do that? Let's say format shape. Okay, the text box. Usually there should be an option to make the edges to be round. Can't find it here. Go transparency. Okay, that's fine. But probably I'll change the type. Usually there should be an option for making the edges to be round, but I can't find it right now. Okay, not 3D format, can be there. Aspect ratio text box. Margin text into the columns. Okay, that's fine. Let's use the normal one. let's go with the normal thing. Okay, let me just delete this once and for all. Okay, so next on let's draw. Just insert more text box. Okay, make sure we're better. Yes, from 2001 to 2025. Okay. Is that close? Yeah. Okay, let's make this central and let's make this a bit bigger. What I'm going to do for this one is I'm just going to reduce the transparency, make this 100 so that we don't, just put no line. No line, yeah. So let's see if I can make the text to be white. Okay, that's better. And quickly, just going to make this a bit bolder. Yeah. Okay, so our header's done. Next thing that we need to do is to insert a shape. Let's see the shape that we have. Okay, let's create another one. Let's see. Yeah, the same. Basically, we'll just do the same process again. Let's do this time. So I'll just gonna give this a slot of space. Okay, so we have home. Let's see, what's the text box now? Not that one. There we go. So we have one for the title. Or you can make this bigger. Let's make this like that. Okay, we'll make this one bigger. Then we'll also let another one be there for the value. Okay, so this one right here will be our total let's say total wind energy. Total wind energy, okay, not wind energy, let's say renewable. I think renewable is a better one. So renewable energy, yeah, USA. Let's expand this. Yeah, so we'll do the whole editing later. So for this one, I'm just going to say, instead of me typing, what's this? Okay, let's rename this one. Let's say so. Actually, total. That's it. So instead of me copying and pasting this, so this is C4. Sounds like a bomb. Sounds like a bomb, rather. Okay, what's the dashboard? Okay, instead of me saying that we should copy and paste that, I'm just going to come here and I'm just going to say equal to C4. Please work, please work, please work. Oh, I think I made a mistake. What I need to do is I need to copy the total. Now, I'm just going to copy this like that. We'll go to our dashboard. metric total, then C4, doesn't work. Yeah. Okay, so that's settled. All right, so we're just going to see if we can copy this. You know what? Let's do another one again. Let's start from scratch. All right, so you can just, it's basically the same thing, but just going to fast. Just gonna see how quick I can do this so we don't waste time. Okay, we're already at 30 minutes. All right, so we have text box right here, and we have another text box right here. Okay, let's see if you can select 3 of them. Then we'll just do Control V. So now we have 4 of them. So I'll discuss the other 4 later on. Okay. Okay, so we'll do the design later, but for now let's just try and get all the values ready. Okay, so that's the total renewable energy that US has produced since 2001. So this won't be. Yeah, there we go. So 2001. Quick tip: always make sure you put the units of whatever you're calculating, so that we know what's, we know how much things are. So the next one that we can check is the total wind power that's produced by the states. All right, so for this one, I'm going to create a separate pivot table for the wind data that we're going to be working on. Okay, so what we do is we go to data, and then we go to, is it developer now? Not developer. First we get to design, summarize, yeah. So new worksheet, go with new worksheet. So we'll just say pivot table wind. Table wind. So we have table wind right there. Okay, so what we need for this one is going to be, I think this guy. Yeah, I think that's it. So just give me 1 second. Okay, so quick correction. What we'll be doing now, or the next KPI we'll be looking at now, is, sorry, I didn't mean to say KPI. The next metric that we're looking at now is the top wind energy producer in the US since 2001. Okay, I'm just gonna quit this and this guy. Okay, top wind producer. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take all of the states and we're going to compare them. Okay, this is one issue I have with this. Ideally that's meant to be going to wind. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm just going to turn it off this to numbers, because I don't like the way it's doing that. The pivot table usually does that when one of this is a string, or let's say there's some missing values, I think. So let's just see if we can turn everything to a number. So it's a number, and then we'll just do that. Okay, I think that's good now. So is this 0? What? Don't know why it's like this. Okay, let's see if that gives us better luck. Pivot table wind. Something's still wrong with them. Alright, let's see what's going on. So I just had to quickly ensure that the numbers were numbers, because it seemed like a lot of it was actually just, what do you call it now, strings. Don't know why it was like that, but what I did was, for some of them they weren't like this, so what I just did was I did this. I still control down. I created a cell here. Let me delete this one. That's just for me to check some things. Alright, so I just created cell, just wrote one, and then what I did was to highlight this. Let's see if I can get to the bottom. Highlighted all the numbers, and then what I did was to do a copy and paste. I think it's a copy and paste special, something like that. Okay, let's see if we can just navigate here. Just quickly see if I can do that. Okay, so we have this. Let's do that. Then we do a paste special again, and then we do a multiply. I think multiply, yeah. Okay, then you have it. So everything now is a number. So hopefully the pivot table works well now. So let's move on. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pivot table that contains all of the states with their respective wind energy generated. So I'm going to skip United States because this is the whole country. I'm going to skip this because this is a region. So if I skip any one of them, just know that that's a region. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so basically I'm going to probably speed this up in the video. Alright, Mid-Atlantic, I think that's one of the regions. Let's see. Wisconsin, West Central, that's a region. Okay, South Dakota, South Atlantic, definitely a region. Almost there. It's down the list. Virginia, okay. Contagious, Oregon, Washington, and Hawaii. Okay, so those are all of our values, and I'm just going to quickly add this right here to the rows so it looks nicer. Okay, so we can see from 2001 to 2025 we have that, and we have each of the quarters, and I'm using each of the months. It's right there, yeah. So that's all good. Okay, so now to find the maximum, I'm going to copy this. So now to find the maximum states, I'm just going to copy this right here. I'm going to remove the date. Remove field and remove field 2. Okay, so we just have this. So we just have this guy now. And what I need to do is, okay, I'm going to go down. I need a space for something. We'll see that later. But let's just concentrate on the maximum. Sorry. Total wind energy. So let's just see. Do something similar. Let's see if it's the same thing that I did before. So dashboard, okay, the top wind generator. So wind generator by states. So it's gonna be a state here. Alright, so for this one, let's see what we have. I'm probably gonna use index and matching here. So what I'm just gonna do is, okay, I think I might make some mistakes with this one. So the index, so we're going to do the whole of this guy. Okay, then that. Okay, so for this one, this is going to be our match. Expect that look nicer. So we have that. So this is actually meant to be max. So we'll take the maximum of that range. So the maximum of that range, right? So the lookup array is just going to be the same thing basically. So just do that. Okay. Then maximum of that. Then the match type, if we want it to be exact, we're going to use 0. So there is a recommended 1. So we have match. Okay, so let's see if this one works. So now we're back in our index formula again. So the row number, so this is the row number, and the column number is, I think it should be 1. So let's see if that works. So last time I checked that the answer was Texas. So let's see if that's what it gives us. Okay, it gives us an error here. Okay, it's something I'm not doing. Okay, so index, that's a dot. So the match is correct. Okay, max is closed. That is closed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see what's going on. Match type. Okay, what's wrong? Should be working. To match that, and then we go 0. Was meant to be 2. Okay. Right. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Okay. So just check one of my previous. Let's cancel that. Start again. Okay, let's check it out. Just gonna quickly see what I did. Okay, so the mistake was I used this earlier for the. I used that earlier for the row number instead of it being the column number. So basically it's the row number here is going to be 1, and the column number is going to be basically what the match gives us, which is going to be the maximum value of this range, and then the match is going to give us the index number. And once we just combine those, then we'll be able to get our value here. So we can see that it's going to be Texas. So we'll just press enter for this. So Texas is our highest producing state. So now I'm just going to change this. So I change this now. Okay. Now I'm just going to write something here that's just going to take that away. Let's see what we can use right here. And copying and pasting this from the previous one I did, because I did a dashboard before just to test this out. So I'm just going to see if I can extract this, just this value right here. just to make it a bit more dynamic. So I'm going to change this to B39, change that one to B, change this one right here to B, and change this one right here to B39. Let's see if that works. Texas, yeah. So basically the whole thing about this one is to try and extract this. So we search for that. So that's going to be what we're going to search for. And, using the length and the search function, we just get only the right, the values on the right hand side. And once we get the value of the right hand side, we make sure we trim it just because of any extra spaces that might be on the string or something. So yeah, the trim function is not really necessary. It's not compulsory, but it's necessary, if you get what I mean. So moving on, what we're gonna say is, what's cell is this? It's a C39. Okay, so we'll go back to our dashboard. We'll say, let's say topping generator. Okay, so we'll say topping generator by state. So we're gonna expand this. And what I'll say right here is equal to wind C39, and we press enter. So there we go, Texas. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to create two other metrics, and that's going to be the total, the total wind energy generated by state, and we're going to also put let's see what I put on my previous dashboard again. I remember what I put there. Just give me 1 second. See dashboard, okay, and then the maximum outputs that has been produced by the dashboard. So this was what just in case you're wondering, I did something like that. So this was just a rough dashboard I did before. So I'm just going to minimize that. Unfortunately, I actually completed the dashboard before, but I lost all of my progress, and I don't know, the autosave wasn't put on because of the VBA. I don't know why. Still trying to research, what went wrong there. But basically that's what caused the whole thing. So that was just an earlier version of what I'd done before. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to have a sheet where we have all of our states data, in the sense that just going to get something from this guy right here. As he gets regions. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy all of this guy. Okay, now all of that. Let's copy all of this and put it in here. Alright. Okay, let's expand that. Okay, Mid-Atlantic. South Atlantic, South Central, and Pacific. Brilliant. And what I'll do for this one, I'll just copy to delete this. Okay, so I'm just trying to make this look nicer. Let's see if I can merge and join these guys. No, that is not recommended. Okay, right. Pacific, okay, so mission center, then I'll put that in the middle. Okay. Come on. Okay, so merchant center, that's there. Just do the same thing for all of them, just to make it more presentable. Okay. Let's go. Okay, we currently have 49 minutes. It needs to be a bit faster. Okay. And last one right here. So these are all the states and the regions. So these are the regions. I think they're like 7. What is 7? Okay, I can see. Well, yeah, I think they're like oh, they're 8. 3, 3, 2. Yeah, 8. Okay, and these are all our states. So what I want to do is basically I want to create a drop down for this guy. I want to create a drop down here. Okay, so let's see if we can do that. Let's go to data. So the data tab again. Data validation. There's data validation right there. Let's see, and value. It's just gonna do a list. And the source is going to be, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Sheet. Okay. So go up here. There we go. Okay, so we can see New Hampshire. We can change it to anyone we want. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our win data, and okay, sorry, we're going to go back to our pivot table here. So this is the part where we might need to do some moving around. So let's see what we have. Okay. So what we're going to do in this sense is we're going to need to do the maximum of all of these guys instead of just the sum, because I want to make it the total of each state for one metric for one of those boxes that you can see on the dashboard, and the other box I want it to be for the maximum that the state has ever produced. So I want to do that by each of the states, so that any state that you choose, you can find out what it has produced throughout its lifetime and what the maximum has ever been. So I'm just going to do a copy and paste of this guy here. Just going to copy and paste of this guy. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I don't want to do the same process 50 times. That might take too long. So what I just did was I went online to find some VBA code I could use and tweaked it to my worksheet. Okay, so let's go to developer, let's say Visual Basic. Okay, let's see what's still there. Okay, it's not surprising. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to create a module and just going to copy something I found online. Okay, so copy something I found online. Just give me 1 second. So this is what we have from online, and basically it's saying we're going to use the dimension PTF as pivot field, and it's basically just going to go through each of the fields in the row that we have, and it's going to do this function. This is the format we want, and it ends up quite simple. So I'm just going to change this one to max. Change that one to max right there, and Excel max. Change that one to max. So you could copy this. You could copy this right here. I think the person that posted this is called Rory or something like that. But am I typing this wrong? I think that's correct. Yeah. That should be good. Okay, so let's see whether this works. What do I name this one now? View code. No. Okay, that's whether this one works. Okay, so macros to max. Let's see, run. Does it should be max of wind? Yes, perfect. It works perfectly. That's good. So the next thing we need to do now is to do. I think we're just going to do the index and match of this one. Okay. So what I did first is, so let's say chosen state, let's just say chosen state right here is going to be equal to, yeah, you're gonna get to our dashboard and we see this guy R6, so it's also Rhode Island, okay, and we're gonna say this is equal to, we're gonna use concatenate right here to, because of these guys, sum of winds, max of wind, right? So let's concatenate right here. So we're gonna concatenate. We have to make sure this is perfect, if not we're going to have some problems. So we have sum of wind. Okay, sorry, I'm not supposed to put this here. So sum of wind, I have to make sure this is the perfect thing. Make sure I put a space. Okay, so that's text 1, and text 2 is going to be you. So it'll be B42. Okay, let's see if that's correct. Sum of wind, okay. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is, for wherever this is, we need to find out what it's going to be right here. So I'm thinking of using index and match for this one, but let's see what we did in the previous one. What is it? Pivot table wind. Okay, so we are concatenate. Yeah, index and match is what I used. Okay, so what we're going to do in this sense is, it's basically going to be the same thing, but we just need to do some adjustments. That should be quite simple. So do that, and okay, just give it. 2 minutes is such a pain scrolling back and forth. Okay, so we have that. So our row number for this one is going to be, so we're going to match. Row number for this one is going to be 2. So we're going to do 2 because this is 1, 2. So we have 2 for that, and we're going to use our match function right here. So we're going to match. The lookup value is going to be this, and the lookup array is going to be, oh sorry, no, that's a mistake. The lookup value is going to be this. It's going to be this, and the lookup array is going to be this, and sorry, I'm writing rubbish. Okay, that's to that. Okay, I think that should do the trick. So we want it to be perfect, so we'll go for 0. And just a heads up, if you're thinking of not making it perfect for the match function, it's a 1. Well, that's something I will not dive into. You can always check it online and see what the documentation says. So we have 0 right there. Let's close that. So does this look okay? All right, so Rhode Island, okay, so to give us 1657. Let's see if we are correct. Yes, we're good. We are very good. All right, so what we're just going to do is we're just going to basically do something very similar for this. Okay. So B42, no, first B42. So we're going to be B42 now. Okay, so this one's going to be changed to, we have max. So we're going to change this one to max. So we have max of wind, B42, and there we go. So very similar to what we have here. I love it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change all of this to, this is going to be a, okay, that's the range, row number. It's going to match A44 for this one, and that should give us, okay, root. Okay, A44. Did I write that? Did I do everything right? B42, yeah, that's Rhode Island. Okay. So A44, max of wind, Rhode Island. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's correct. What's going on? These are the issues I have every single time I try to do this. It's always an apostrophe or a just something very minute that's causing this problem. Okay, so we have A44, then we have A32, A32 to AZ32, okay. Oh, nicey. My mistake. That was not the range which I've chosen. Okay. Okay, so match A42, and for this, it's going to be from here. It's going to be from here. Come on. 835 to 836, okay. So for you, it's going to be just delete this. Let's get that right. Oh no. I've been confused today. Okay. 835 to easy. So let's see if this works now. 25 to 25, yes. Alright, that's been sorted. Now let's get this guys to the respectful corners. Okay, so this one will be the total wind energy generation. Generated. And for this one, this is going to be the max wind energy generated. Okay, so Rhode Island, where's the drop down? Okay, let's get that. Alright, so this one's going to be equal to, let's get that. Okay, not you. Data, pivot data. Okay, so that's the max. So 43, 1657, and then we have for you. Where is it? Oh, sorry, I forgot to start. Okay, so equal to 25. So that's right there. Perfect. So we have all of this now, and if we change this to, let's say, Connecticut, we can see, okay, that's not good. So we can, oh, let's see, so our problem is from here. Connecticut. That's spelling. Okay, let's see if it's the right thing now. Connecticut. Oh, can we refresh this? Okay, let's see if we can refresh this again. Comments, new link into this range. Okay. What I'll do is I'm going to delete. I'm not going to Connecticut, UK. Oh, that's better. So we have main and we have Massachusetts. Did I get that right? So Massachusetts. Yeah. So we have Massachusetts. All right. So let's. I think the longest one should be District of Columbia. I think that should be the longest state name. Let's see. Do we have that here? District of Columbia. Okay. Okay. So we know that that's accounted for. Then pivot table winch. Okay. So I think there are some states that never had any wind turbines at all. Probably it's the government didn't find it's efficient to put the wind turbines there or something. I'm not sure. That's probably something I'll need to look into later. So District of Columbia, let's make sure it's 0. I think the last time I checked it was 0. Just need to make sure we're doing the correct thing. That's Florida's. Yeah, okay. So you can see District of Columbia 0. So we're good. Okay, so these guys are settled. Now the next thing will be to create a map. Just going to create a map for this. Okay, and let's say some of in Connecticut. So and so. All right. So let's see if we can create a map for you. Photo analyze, design, where are the charts again? So the pivot charts, then we have the map. Okay. All right. Pivot table. Okay. Okay. So what we need to do for this one is, let's see. Okay, so we are going to, I think we might need this. Again. I just need to check a few things. So we have wind data. Okay. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like this. So I'm going to copy this and then do some, just to make things faster. I'm going to do a bit of manipulation right here. So forgive me. All right, so for these guys, going to replace some of wind. So some of wind is space. I'm going to replace them with nothing. Is that going to be correct? Yeah, just going to replace them with nothing. All right, let's see. Let's go. Replace all. 52 replacements. Okay. So now you can see that we have the actual names of the states. So let's see if this one works this time. Hopefully it works. Okay, not that time. Let's see pivot charts. Is the map gonna work now? Still no. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens if I'm able to transpose this. Okay. Let's see if there's any option for that here. Table sorted out. So if it's settings, nope, that's not what we want. Okay, I think I need to. Nope, definitely not that. Okay. I think I'm going to have to check what I did before. Let's enable this. Looks nicer. Okay. So what I did before, let's see if it's gonna work now. I think what I did was transposing the whole thing. Okay, let's see if we can use space, not space, paste special for this. So, let's go. So we copy, copied. Then let's see, paste special. I think paste special should be able to do the trick. Okay. Does it transpose? And voila, there we go. All right. So now hopefully this works. Same as on a state and total. Produced. Yeah. Okay, let's see if this is gonna work for us. Okay, where's insert? Looking up at the charts. Okay, yes, that looks better now. Let's change the chart title. Gigawatt hours. Okay, I don't think we should be having two of these here, but I'll just review that later. Okay, let's see if we can just make this look nicer. The border, line, transparency. Okay, let's see if we can form a plotera. Same thing. Thematic, border, line, create a line. Okay. See data label options, separated number. Okay. Source name, category name. We don't want everything there. I think we're going to take this. Okay, let's use name, category name. Okay, that's better. There was a particular option I usually saw. I used them how I did it before. Current category name, format code of these guys. I think there was an option to say that if it was not the size or something like that, then it shouldn't be shown. Okay, but probably we'll come back to that later. Width and everything, join type, dash type. Okay, probably we'll check that one later, but let's move on for now. Okay. Right, so oh, that's not good. Let me just do that. Okay, so we have copy and let's paste that right here. Key source formatting, there we go. All right, so this is going to be center one, and the next one is, wow, we've gone an hour. So the next one that we're going to do is going to be the other renewables versus the other one versus the wind energy generated. So let's see what we have. So what we have right here in data. Okay, don't need that one. Okay, so what we're gonna do is for this one should be quite simple. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. Okay. So we're going into that. Okay, so I'm going to do for this one. So I'm just going to type in wind, other new renewables. And then the renewables, then we'll do wind right here. Okay, let's see if this is gonna work for our. Let's try this one first. Let's see if this is gonna work for our pivot charts. So we're gonna use. Let's go for. Go for again. What I used last time was a donut. Let's see a donut. Okay. Okay, it needs to be of a whole. To be of a whole. So what I'm going to do is to see if this one is going to work. All right. Where are you? Where are you again? Where is it? Okay, insert. Okay, so from inserts, we just do a pie chart. Let's see, 3D pie, no, donuts. There we go. I think I usually prefer this one to be in lighter color. Nope, definitely not what I wanted. Okay. The outline, that's the feel. Okay, that looks much better. So that's dark as we can. Alright, so we have wind and then the other renewables. To be honest, I actually prefer the default color. If you feel like you can always change it, but I'm just a fan of this. What color is this again? I think is it blue? Or whatever, I think it's teal or something like that. But yeah, I'm a big fan of it, so that's why I keep on. That's why I just leave it like that. That's very special. That's why I just leave it like that. So it keeps us formatting. Okay, so let's see. Data legends. Legends meant to be there. I think that was okay. That looks better. Okay, so let's retitle this. Okay, and what I need to do is to make sure. Let's see if we can get some data labels on this thing. Okay, data labels. Let's get you away from that. Okay, let's make that a bit bigger. Let's go for 12. I think 12 is good. And we'll go for 12 for this guy too. Alright, that's better. Alright, sorry, forgot to put the gigawatt hours. Okay, almost done. Just 2 more and we'll be done finally. Okay, so the next one we need to do is the we're going to do the top generators, and we'll just think of something else again I can do. But I need to check my old dashboard to see what else is available. Okay. So to create the chart, I will show the top wind producers or the wind energy producers by state and by region. What I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to turn this into a table. Hopefully that does not affect our map. Let's see, data, range, multiple as headers. There we go. Not sure why that's doing that. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Don't think I need this. Hopefully that does not affect too much. Okay, yeah, everything looks okay. All right, so we have the states and that, and let's see if we can arrange this from okay, so we have data, then next thing, okay, don't need that anymore. So not table design. Okay, let's see. Okay, don't pivot charts option there. Let's cancel now. All right, so the next thing we need to do is a graph. Let's see which one we have. Over to the bar. Okay. Then producers. Okay. And let's see if we can arrange this now. Did say it was a legend? Nope. Cancel. Okay, let's see if we can format axis. Data category maximum. Okay, let's see categories in reverse order. Okay, I think what the solution would be to do something like this. Let's see if this is going to work. So let's do from largest to smallest. No, sorry. From, I clicked the other one. Okay, we have that. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to do, let's see, insert, then, okay, we have a 2D bar. Sheet views, number of filters, top 10. To top 10 items, but that affects the other table. So we'll not go that route. Okay, what we're gonna do is let's try something else. So what we'll try now is let's see if we can just duplicate this table. See if this method works. We'll duplicate the table, then we're going to do number filter. Let's do the top 10. So it doesn't affect this guy. Okay. Okay, does it affect that? Now let's try this again. No, don't do that, sorry. All the way to try, yeah. There we go. So that's far better. That's far better. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay, so the next thing to do will be to put this in reverse order. Access options. So it's also like exactly. So now we can copy this. Can copy this and bring it here. So we have to energy produced. Wind energy produced by state. Okay. CA to E. Okay. Now we're just going to do something very similar for this guy. Let's see, it's about table wind. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is this. Or in this case, okay. I think the best option will be to create another pivot table. Okay, so let's go. We're just going to click that away. I'm going to save this. So erase features. Connection only. Okay, table wind data. Alright, that's good. Let's do summarize of the table. 16 sheets. I think that'll be a good spot. Okay. And for this one, we're just going to choose the regions. Oh, no, sorry, that's the wrong way. Okay, New England. Control labels. So we have that, we have New England, we have okay, there's meant to be one before that. There's meant to be okay, yeah, Middle Atlantic. So I'm wondering where that went to. So we have North Atlantic, it's not central, west not central. Let's see. South Atlantic, not sound like a state. Okay, so we have east, south, central, and west, south, central. Okay, let's put these guys. West, south, central, Colorado, Montana, Nevada, Wyoming, Pacific, and advantageous. Yeah. All right, so these are our new guys. Okay. So just they're going to do something similar to what we did before. So paste special. So transpose. Yeah, that should do it. Yeah, there's a transpose button there. Okay, so just do that. Sum of win, find and replace. Replace all. Okay. So now we have all of these guys here. Let me just insert. Okay, so we have region. And we have this. Let's just put this. Okay, sorry. There's the values. Let's just do the values. Just the values is fine. Okay, so we'll convert this one to table. I don't really think that's necessary, but let's just do it to convert it to a table. Okay, so that's headers. Just close that. That's good. We do not need another sheet. Okay, so now we'll just do the same thing that we did for this guy right here. Let's see if that's gonna work. Okay, so we do insert, then we do, what's it called now? I do a to the bar. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Before we do that, just get one thing straight for all largest to smallest. All right, well, let's try that again. Okay, so format axis, categories and reverse order. There we go. Produced by region. Okay, so now that should do the trick. This is the dashboard. Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right, so that's most of the hard work done. So next up, we just need to do some edits and we'll be done. So basically, this is what we're going to do for this dashboard. All right, so let's just see if we can create this right here. Okay. All right, so this part I'm going to might most likely speed it up because it could take a while and it might take some time, but let's see how it goes. Okay, so that's our editing for that. So the goal here is to see if everything can be like that. All right, so let's make this central. Okay. Component that. No line. Transparency 0. Generate a state. Okay, so we'll just do what we did for the other ones here. Let's see. Okay, so that's done. Bold transparency. I'm trying to see if I can just, since if there's a way for me to just delete this and copy this inside, so it's faster for us. Total wind generated. Okay, total wind generated for this one. Okay, and just says transfer, so this one to 100%. Okay, and size is going to be 14. Okay, I think line. Okay. So we can bring those guys a bit closer. There we go. Right, so this is going to be the same thing. So no line. Send. When that does not sound right. Okay, let's just see. Energy generated. Okay, now we have this to be 100. Gold, white, central, and no line. See, okay, looks good. Just use 14 for you. Okay, so let's see if this is working well now. So let's see Minnesota. Yeah. All right, that looks good. So to just show the, let's see. Okay, let's use this color. Let's use that color. Let's make this. I think 14 is okay. 14 is fair. Okay, can't change what that is. Okay, give me. I'm going to need to take this guy to the edge. That's it. Still works. Okay, Connecticut. What's Connecticut again? So Connecticut is 2. Is that correct? 2. 1, 2. Okay. So I think that one is settled. So that's settled. So let's make this as big as we can. Okay. And 1, 2, 3. Let's bring these guys down so we can make the map as big as we can. Alright, I'm gonna take away the border. I think it looks cleaner that way. So no line. Okay, it looks a bit cleaner now. Okay. Never forget your units. What's so good about that? GWH. That's our gigawatt hours. Alright, so that's our max energy. Okay, I think that looks far better now. Alright, so I think this is okay like this. Looks alright. Okay, so if we want to change anything maybe later on, I can always come to this pane. But for now, I think this looks good. I think this one's also look good. Okay, let me see if I can just change the borders. Can make it a solid line. Transparency width. Cap type flat. What's this? Okay, let's see what we can do with this guy. Can we make it let's see, chart design. Chart elements, let's see what we have. Chart type is good. Chart type is good. There's a particular way that I usually see online. Let's see. It's more like you put it on a kind of how do I say it? It's like this kind of shape, but I can't find it here. Don't know if I'm able to see it. Quick layout, chart elements now. Okay, solid line, quick compound type. There's the cap type, beginner line, rounded corners. Okay, that's good. Rounded corners is good. Shadow. Okay, I think it's something like this. Okay. Symbol, transparency, color, shadow. Let's see. Presets. Sure about this. Let's see. Is that good? No. I'm really a fan of that one. Let's see if this is alright. Okay. Nope, definitely not. Go to black transparency. Okay. Well, I think that's fine. I think we'll just do the same thing for these guys. Yeah. Okay, borders, no line, solid line. Presets. Okay, we'll do the 4 edges. So this one all depends on your taste. You can always change it to what you like. There's really no rules about this one right here. So it all depends on how you like whatever you've created to be. So let's see, what can I do for this one again? Rounded corners. Okay, and Pre-app presets. Let's put this one like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's good. Shift edges, transparency size, small angle distance. Yeah, I think everything looks good now. It's a bit better. Alright, so thank you for staying with me. Okay, before I go, let's just see if I can just. Wow, this is quite a long video. 1 hour and 45 minutes so far. Okay, so let's see if I can just put this in a box so that we know that this is connected to just these two. Let's see, insert shapes. So insert shapes, then we go from here to here. Make sure that's in line. Is that in line? Just a bit more. There we go. So I'm gonna send this to the back. Okay, then it's going to be like this. I prefer it to be like this. And there we go. So now we can see if we do Connecticut, Rhode Island, Vermont, and that's it. So thank you very much for staying with me. Remember, you can always customize this as much as you like. And yeah, we can basically see an overview of the wind energy that's generated by the US. And I'm going to put the links for the data set in there, and you can always practice with it. Okay, this doesn't look right. Just going to make this nicer. And there we go. So thank you for staying with me, and I shall see you on another project. See you later.